Welcome to another Seasonal Source product training video. Today we'll be covering the accessories that Seasonal Source offers. These products are the products that will help you have a more professional installation and help you create that nice holiday lighting display that your customers are looking for. We'll be covering clips, light stakes, replacement sockets, male and female plug adapters, as well as timers. Knowing the how and why of each of these products will really help you with your installs to make things go much smoother and easier and create that nice professional holiday lighting display. First, let's take a look at the clips. So the first clip that we'll look at today is going to be what we call the all-in-one clip. This clip is we call it the all-in-one because it covers both a C7 and C9. You can also twist the little top here and lock in some mini lights as well if you want to run those along the gutter. It easily clips onto the gutter, and you can also use it sliding it underneath shingles going up and down a peak. So a great option there for that. Let me show you how it clips on here real quick. So just easily just clips right into place, and then you just slip that right over the gutter, and then you have a nice look with that clip pointing forward. The other clip option we have is what we call the all-in-one clip plus. The reason why I call it the plus is it's very similar to the other one, other than this one has an additional little hook on it, which is great for hanging icicle lights or mini light strands along the gutter. That way it's going to be down lower on the gutter and not higher up as the all-in-one clip would have them placed. So this one too just clips on easily. And so we've got the two options. Now really it just comes down to personal preference. The all-in-one clip has been our most successful one over the years, but more recently the all-in-one clip plus has really picked up a lot of steam, and now either one is used quite often, so you've got the choice between the two. The other clips we have are these, they're called shingle tabs. We got two different types of shingle tabs, one with a 2-hole option and one with a 3-hole option. Most commonly we use the 2-hole option just because it has, just covers the C9 and the C7 holes. This one for maybe a smaller light. So quite often, or most often, the 2-hole shingle tab is the one that's used. Now the way this one is used, it's got this L-shaped part, so you'd slide it underneath the shingles, and it's perfect for peaks. That way the light, when you thread it on, it's going to keep that light facing forward instead of up like the all-in-one clips will. So that way it's going to be more consistent across the whole roof line and just have a nicer, more professional look to that lighting display. So also with that shingle tab, we have what we call a parapet clip. Now this is for mounting, especially on commercial projects, on that steel cap on top of the building. You get that, you screw that down with a screw with a seal on it, and then once that's in place, you just slide that shingle tab right onto it. That way that clip is there for your installs year to year, and it just helps lock that shingle tab in place and keeps the light, or the light facing forward. So just a great option for commercial installations, and between using the all-in-one clips and the shingle tabs, you'll be able to cover pretty much all of your lighting displays, all your lighting installations on those rooftops. So that's a majority of what will be sold, and just some great options for you. So the next clips that we're going to look at are the magnetic clips. Now these two clips come in C7s as well as C9s. Now the benefit of these magnetic clips is it'll allow you to quickly do some installs on commercial properties or anywhere that you've got steel cap or steel edging, maybe steel gutters as well. It'll make it quite easy to install. They hold up very well. They just go on quite easily. So you just get them on there, lock it into place, just as easy as that. And then you've got your clip right on there, and then you just stick it right onto that steel surface. So quite easy to use, very effective, and then you can also jump between that and your other clips just depending on how that roof line lays out. A new product that we have this year is the magnetic socket wire. So similar to these socket clips, but on these the magnet is built into the socket. So for these, commercial application is probably the #1 place that these could be used. So if the whole building cap is all steel, just using the magnetic sockets can really save you time from having to put a clip on. You just have to thread the bulb in and then hook it on real quick. So it's going to be a nice, smooth installation. So the savings there would be in your time, labor costs as well. So just another great option that we're putting out this year. Now let's take a look at the light stake options that we have. So we carry the light stakes in 2 different sizes. We have a 5-inch light stake as well as a 10-inch light stake. Now each of these light stakes will allow you to add dimension to any holiday lighting display. What you can do is you just add the light socket right onto the stake, put your light in there, just stick it down into the ground, and then just line a pathway or flower bed edges, sidewalks, just whatever you need, and it's going to really add a lot to that lighting display. These are great options, and just kind of depending on where you're located, if you're in warm weather climates, the 5-inch stake will probably suffice and do well since you don't have to deal with snow. But if you do have maybe a little bit of snow, the 10-inch light stakes can work well there. Next accessory that we want to take a look at are replacement sockets. Now, although you're not going to replace sockets very often, we just want you to understand how that works and how easy it is to replace a broken or a corroded socket. So the sockets will come in C7 and C9, and both will be available in white and in green. But it's quite simple for replacing those sockets. So typically, if you have a socket that is bad, you can just take a pair of channel locks, and you just get it on there and you can squeeze it and just break that socket right off and just snap it. That way you'll have the socket removed that is faulty, and then you just get your replacement socket and you're going to lay it out the same way. So once it's off, you wonder, how do I know which direction it goes? Well, just look at the next one down the line, and you can see how it's laid out. You've got that clip up, and you just want to make sure that that's installed with the clip up and the wire matches the same direction. You can also just look at the 2 piercings from that socket that you removed, and if you line those up based on the little teeth on the bottom of that socket, it's going to be very easy to line up and install that replacement. So once you just do that, put the back on. Sometimes it takes a pair of channel locks to gently squeeze that into place, but once you have that done, then you have repaired your socket wire. So the next accessory item that we're going to take a look at is probably one of the most important ones that you will be working with. These are the male and female plug-in adapters. Now these are going to allow you to customize any C7 and C9 lighting display. It's going to allow you to make jumps from say the gutter up to a peak, or between different peaks, or different levels of the roof line. So just understanding how these work is probably the most important thing, but once you and your guys understand how that works, you'll be able to do any type of lighting display. So basically, they come in green, both green and white, so you can match your color of socket wire. They have a plate on them, kind of a little lid that will slide on, but each of these are polarized, so there's going to be a wide blade and a narrow blade. So an easy way to remember how to, or which side of the wire to install them on, is to take a look at the wire itself. It's going to have one side is ribbed, kind of like a rough edge, and then the other side is going to be smooth. So you'll want to line up the large side to the ribbed part, and you'll see which side. So if you look, you've got the ribbed, you got the wide blade, and you can follow up where it goes, and you can see which side that little tooth is coming up. So when you lay this wire inside of there, you push it down in, and then you can just lay it over, and then you just press down on that wire to make sure that it pierces both of them, and then you slide that clip on into place. And there you go. Now you have a male plug adapter in place to start a new lighting light run. Now the same thing for the female end. You're just going to lay it out the same way. You want to make sure that everything lines up evenly. So on the female, it has a wide end and a narrow end as well. And you want to make sure that lines up so that it's consistent throughout your whole install. That way you don't have any lighting issues or power issues down the line. The other great thing about the female adapter is that this one has a little tab on the back, but that little tab can be broken out, and then that can become an inline or a T. For example, if I needed to drop down to a wreath or a garland or make a jump to a different level of roof lights, and just get that, press down on it gently to get those wires pierced, and then go ahead and just slide that into place. And by doing so, now you've got a female T for tying in for those other lighting display situations. Another item that I'd like to touch on today is what is called the twist and seal. So this is a nice little cord protector where you're going to be able to lay in your male and female ends and close it up, seal it up. It's going to be protected from the weather and water. Really good for commercial applications or places where the public will be, to kind of help keep them from tampering with those cord connections. So the last product accessory that we're going to go over today are our timers. So we have two different options. We have what we call the Time 100 and the Time 300. Now the difference between these two is the Time 100 uses a mechanical dial timer, but it's going to have some pin sets. It's going to allow you to do different start and finish times. So you can turn it on in the evening if you'd like, and then off late at night, and then back on early morning if you want to see it as they're leaving to work or something when it still might be dark. So a mechanical timer, it's got two plug outlets on the bottom of it, so great for setting up your time with that. Our other option is the Time 300, which is a photocell timer. So if you take a look at it, it also has two outlets at the bottom of it, but the nice thing about the photocell timer is it'll automatically turn on as soon as it gets dark enough in that location, and you can set it to run either from dusk to dawn, or you can have it run continuously full time, or you can have it run in increments of 2 hours, so 2, 4, 6, or 8 hours, and then it'll shut off at that time. So it's definitely a great add-on product to include timers and to carry them with you in your trucks. So that concludes our accessories product training video. Each of these products, all these accessories are really going to benefit you on your installs. It's going to help you have a more professional installation. It's going to be quicker, easier. The light's going to be, more consistent looking, and it's just going to be the best way for you to do a nice professional holiday lighting display. So stay tuned for and watch out for our future training videos. We'll be going over some different things, so watch for those, and continue to watch our Seasonal Source training videos, where we continue to provide you support and training to help you have a more successful to have more success with your installations and just be successful overall in your businesses. Thank you for watching.